Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching 412 PSC Customs here on YouTube. So today we are going to repair and replace a glove box and glove box mount on a 2016 Ford Police Interceptor utility. So one thing I want to stress to you guys, I know there's a ton of videos online about changing the cabin air filter and switching out your glove box or removing the glove box. I want to stress to you guys, before you do anything, unless your glove box is completely broke, you need to make sure that these white pins, which are kind of hidden up underneath here, are removed completely, because in my experience, if you do not do this process, you're going to end up with a broken glove box and you're going to have some serious issues. So make sure that these are removed first and foremost before you go and do this repair and take the tether off, which you'll see a little bit later. Just make sure you do that. All right, guys. All right, stay tuned. We're going to switch and do a little bit of repair. So I have a 2016 Ford Explorer Interceptor, Police Interceptor utility in a shop today. And what has happened is the glove compartment is completely broken. It broke and fell out, and as you can tell, you have 3 half moon latches in the middle here, and then there are these full circle, what are supposed to be posts here, which you can see this one looks like somebody already tried to glue it. But so these have completely broke off. Now I've seen videos on YouTube where people use a soldering iron and, you know, melt these back together. That's not the route that we're going to go today. So there's a couple things in here that hold these from falling out. There's these little latches here, one on either side, and then there's actually a spring-loaded drawstring that is in this white cylinder right here, which I'll show you on the replacement that we're putting in. But as you can tell, this one has been cut for some reason. You can see that cord there is cut. So I didn't see a video. Of course, there's a ton of videos on how to change the cabin air filter in these and how to take the actual glove compartment out and replace it. But what we're doing today is we're going to do a complete housing swap. So this whole housing here is going to come out, and I didn't see any videos on YouTube on how to do this, so that's what we're going to do today. I did kind of start before I decided to shoot this video. Number one, you have 4 8mm bolts down in here, down in these little slots. A couple other things. This little side panel here, you need to pop off and remove. And then the other major thing, don't take the bottom bolts out and just start yanking on this thing, because there's a little piece here that just pops into place. As you can see, just little clips here, normal clips. And then we have 4 more of those 8mm bolts to take out. Okay, so now that I have removed the 4 8mm bolts from up top here, this thing should, now as you can see, there's also a couple of clips along the side here, and then you have the same thing along this side. If you normally grab the bottom of it and just kind of pull it out, she pops right out of place. So there's the housing. There's that cylinder I was telling you that's supposed to have the tether on it, which in this case has been either cut off or ripped off. Not 100% sure. Now the one that we're replacing is a little bit different. It's not from a police interceptor utility. It's from just a regular 2016 Explorer. So right here you'll see there's going to be a little push button for the glove compartment lamp, which these normally don't come with. But yeah, let me go get that. Let me go get that whole housing piece. Oh, and by the way, if you guys have watched any of the other videos on YouTube, here's those pins that everybody talks about. That's what holds that full circle pivot on either end in. So of course there's the hook for the semicircle hooks on the glove compartment, and then these are those white pins that slide out that everybody talks about. Now I've had these break quite a few times working with these vehicles, so I'm actually going to hold on to those. I may actually hold on to this whole thing because I mean, honestly, the only thing that's bad on it is the spring-loaded tether cord. So I may just unbolt that, get a replacement, throw it in there. I mean, because really this housing's okay. It was the actual glove compartment unit, but our customer bought the whole piece from a junkyard to be replaced, so that's the route that we're going to go. All right, folks, so here is the replacement. You can see here is our spring-loaded cord. There's the clip that attaches right here to your glove compartment. If you guys do have one of these that fails, you can buy them or replace them. Keep in mind these little bolts here, of course Ford has to make everything kind of wonky and odd. These are a 5.5 millimeter socket to get these off. Also, as you can see on this one, we have a plug that's for the switch and the light, which is not this model isn't equipped with, but we're just going to leave that alone and leave that there as per the customer. And also keep in mind that these parts in this process are the same for the, I believe it's the 2011 through the 2019. So if you have something other than a 2016 in between that range, this is the still the same process. As you can see, we have our 3 clips along this side, the 3 clips along that side, and then we'll pop this thing into place once I get this thing, this paracord installed. And really that's all it is. You know, there's a larger hole, it pops in, and then it kind of slides upward, locks it into place, and then that's what makes your glove compartment come down real nice and easy and slow whenever you go to open it. So yeah, I'll give you guys a look at it once I get this thing popped into place. Okay, so I was advised that even though there's a million videos out there, I should include the removal and replacement of the cabin air filter. So here we go. Here is where the cabin air filter is. Your cabin air filter is going to be located right behind this cap right here. Okay, so let's back up a little bit so that you can see kind of where that is, and you kind of understand why you have to take the glove box out. You have 2 clips, one on this side right here, and then one on that side right there. Okay, so now you can see with the door off, you can see the cabin air filter, which unfortunately for some reason this filter does not have the airflow arrows, which it should. Normally from the factory, these have arrows that point down because that's the airflow. The airflow comes in through below your windshield, through the vents, down through this filter, into the heating and air conditioning systems. So when you replace this, make sure your replacement filter has an arrow pointing down, or when you pull this out, I don't know, try to pay attention to the orientation of, yeah, I don't know. There's really not much of a difference between that, but as you can see, this one is absolutely filthy, so we're going to change that out. Okay, so there's a ton of cabin air filters out there. We are changing this with the STP brand CA F188 5P. Okay, this one, as I'll show you here in a second, this one actually has the airflow arrows on it. Unfortunately made in China, but that's kind of where we're at, unless you can find a K&N filter. I think the rest of them are pretty much made out of the country. Not sure if K&N makes a filter for this, but if they do, I do recommend it. All right, so now what we have to do is make sure we flip this thing over. Also, if you see any debris inside that channel or anything, make sure you dig that out of there. You definitely don't want that in there. All right, so the next step is to fit that thing in there. As you can see, the orientation of the filter, for some reason they have the airflow arrows printed on the sides rather than the front or the rear. So I guess you just have to kind of pay attention to that. Make sure that your airflow arrows are down and get your new filter in there. Always want a clean cabin air filter. Replace the cabin air filter cover, which, as you can see on this left side, for some reason that clip was broke off. I'm not real sure how much effect that has on the filtering abilities, but it is what it is. We don't have a new door to put on here, so we're sticking with that one as per the customer. And there you have it. That is the cabin air filter change. So let's move on. Folks, so as you can see, the installation is just about complete. We have the new mount and glove compartment installed. Whenever you unlatch it, you can see it only comes down so far, and it comes down kind of nice and easy. That's because we have our tether on there. Now there's just a couple of things to do now to complete this and get it back to where it needs to be. We're going to put this trim piece back. See how that's back in place. That covers the 4 8mm bolts up at the top. The 4 8mm bolts down at the bottom are installed. There's no cover for them, but just keep in mind and remember, anytime you take this thing out, you pull that tether off and you pull these clips, if you don't pull those white pins, you're probably going to end up with a broken glove box. Don't want to do that. Pull those pins first, then pull the tether, and then pull your clips here. This thing will come completely out. I know it's kind of a pain to get those pins out and get those pins back in, but I'm telling you right now, if you do not remove those white pins, you have a 90% chance of breaking the 2 receivers that receive those pins. You don't want to do that because you're going to end up with a lot more money invested. So with that said, last thing is to replace the side dashboard trim panel, if I can keep it in my hands here. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. If we just get that in the right place, get the top popped on, sides popped on, and she's good to go. Good as gold. Complete install of new glove box, new mount, new tether, and your cabin air filter. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you learned something, or this was a good informative video, saved you some bucks, please hit that thumbs up button. That really helps us get our videos in front of other YouTubers and helps us progress the channel. That's appreciated. If you like what you see, we have a lot of diverse things that we do here. We're an emergency vehicle upfitter, so we do a lot of emergency lights, stuff like that, but we also do repair videos. So consider subscribing. Hit that alarm bell if you decide to subscribe. Until next time, guys, as usual, be safe out there.